What's going on, guys? Charles Benz here, and I want to give you guys some tips today on how to how to do the research on buying a car. A lot of people out there don't really know where to look when it comes to purchasing a car, really educating themselves. If you bought a number of cars, hang in there. You might learn something. If you haven't, and you're fairly new or you're a little nervous when it comes to buying cars, and you want to learn how to understand how to properly inform yourself and different techniques. I'm going to do a series of videos. This one's just based on the computer, which I'm going to show you a number of things here in a second. And then I'm going to actually show you in person, video of me walking around showing you different things to look for when buying a car, all kinds of information that's going to be really helpful to you. So what I like to call this is like preliminary car buying. And just to give you a little background on me, I know I have a ton of different videos on YouTube about, fitness to all kinds of things, news, whatever, and cars. Cars are one of my passions. I've owned over 16 cars. I love vehicles and just everything about them. Motors, transmissions, brakes, tires. I just get into cars. I love them. There's certain cars that I might want to track down and know more about, know the different years. So this is how I do it. And so without further ado, I know long entrance or long intro, but let's get into this. So let's just take, for example, this might not be everybody's pick. You might not like these, so we'll go through a few of them. Maybe you're looking for a Land Rover. You're going to say, all right, I'm looking for a Land Rover Range Rover. So I went on MSN.com, but I went in home.autos.msn.com, or you can just go on Google and type in MSN Autos. Okay? So I know that, say I'm looking for this Range Rover, and this is all theoretical, that just by chance you're looking for a Land Rover Range Rover. So we're going to bring this up. Okay? I switch this over to used. Looking for a used one. Okay, and switch this over to Range Rover. Alright, hit and go. And the internet's a little slow here, but we're coming up. Okay, so cool. Now, it's going to come down and say 2014, 2013. Now, I'm looking for one older than that. Okay, let's say we don't know. Maybe we want to go with a 2007. Okay? We want something that looks good, but we're not really willing to pay the price. So the cool thing is, comes down right here and says Blue Book suggested retail value. Now what is that referencing? Some people might say, a lot of you might already know. Blue Book, it's referencing Kelley Blue Book, which I have pulled up here. We'll go on that in a minute. Now it gives you your fuel economy, which on this is pretty bad. It gives you your user rating and expert rating right here, which is this is based from 1 to 10, so this is good. Okay, the fact that 2007 is good, but here's what's really important. For some of you guys, the thing is you can get your brief overview. All right here you get real familiar with what's going on. Read what some owners have to say about it, their pros, their cons, their overall. You get a look at the competitors down here. Okay, you can go shop prices over here. You can look at the specs and features, which might be helpful for some people to know your specs and features. I mean, that's, important information when you're getting into cars, I'll go more in depth on this stuff. This isn't really what I want to touch on tonight or today, whatever time you're actually watching this video. The thing I like to look at is reviews and reliability. So reviews is important, okay, where we can go through and look at a number of people's reviews, but reliability is critical, especially in a vehicle like this, because especially, let's say, Range Rovers, they're known for having problems. So the awesome thing about MSN Autos that I really like is that I can go through and I see this reliability history right here. Okay, this is awesome. We can see 2003, this thing clearly had some issues, and I'm going to show you how to expand into this. 2004, still some issues. 2005, hey, that's golden across the board. Same with 07 through 010, or 2010. So that's awesome. 2006, you saw some hang-ups here. Okay, this is moderate problems. These are significant problems, so you obviously want to stay away from these years. So let's say 2007 looks like a solid year. Let's go ahead and click on 2007. And this is what's cool about it, all right, is that you can go through and it says infrequent problems all across the whole thing, okay? So you can just go ahead and assume every time it's green, it means infrequent problems. Well, maybe we're curious. Maybe we found a good deal on it 2004 or 2006. Let's just click the 2004 and see what that issue was. Now, I know just from prior knowledge, 2004 is when they kicked off this newer body style, so it's still a fresh looking car, even though it's 10 years old. But let's go through. So an occasional problem on this vehicle is failure of the radiator. The cost to repair the radiator is $693 for parts, $117 for labor. All prices estimates based on a $65 per hour flat rate and do not include diagnostic time and all that kind of stuff. So you're looking at, minimum $800, $900 to fix this, maybe more depending on, diagnostic time. Maybe it's already been done, if the person has some miles on it and stuff like that. And then you can also see this thing has some steering problems too. So obviously it's like really the 04 is not a good one to go with. But that's pretty much the overview of MSN Autos. Really cool, obviously, if you don't like Range Rovers, cool. I'm just trying to use that as an example because I know they do have some problems in a number of years. But very cool, move here. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket and say MSN Autos is the all-in be-all and that I should trust everything I see here, because you should not. You should always double check. And so that's where you can go over and do a Google search, and I put in 2005 Land Rover, Range Rover reliability. And it comes up, well, I have Kelley Blue Book pulled up over there, but you have Edmunds. Edmunds is a good report, fairly good. Kelley Blue Book, cars.com. And you can even go in and look on, now you have like a forum here, rangerovers.net, Car Gurus, autos.aol. And if you're really serious about this, you would look through a number of these and figure out what the whole status is, what the rundown on the 05 is, and if there's any major issues. And if there are major issues, you annotate that. Okay, so if you are finding, you've went through and you said, okay, I want the 05 because I can get a good deal on it, then you go look up that 05 and you found that there were a few issues. So then you bring that up to the owner of that car and say, okay, well, have you fixed this? Have you fixed the mass airflow sensor? Because these have gone out on that. Not that that's a big deal. Mass airflow sensors are pretty cheap, relatively, but those are the things you'll look for. A better example might be if it had a trans issue 1 year. Have they replaced that transmission, or has there been a recall and did they get that taken care of? Just so you know what's going on, because it's pretty much like anything else, like somebody, that's going to do business for you. You might want to know their history before you start working with them, So, Kelley Blue Book. Now, I'm not going to go way into this, but I want to just give you guys a quick overview on what's going on here. So, Kelley Blue Book is pretty awesome, so if you're buying a car, you can figure out how much you would pay for it, and then you can find out what your car's worth. So what I should pay for a used car, what I should pay for a new car. Very good stuff to know, especially like, again, we looked at it here. Now what happens a lot that I've seen from, my car buying experience and buying cars all over the place in different states and all kinds of stuff like that, is that the location you're in begins to set its own price. So maybe MSN over here says $10,000 to $16,000 is what these Range Rovers in 04 are going for. So obviously it's not giving you a mile range. So you could assume that that's a pretty accurate based on, maybe 60,000 miles to 100,000 miles. That's how much you're going to pay. So what I'm saying as far as the area, and you'll see right here if when buying a used car, it usually will ask you, or when you're selling yours, what your zip code is, because that plays a large factor. That area, maybe say California for example, might have a higher selling car than Illinois because the car is going to last longer. And I'll just show you this real quick so you can get an idea how this works, because I feel like there's a lot of people that would want to know this. So let's say we found a Range Rover for 65,000, or with 65,000 miles on it, '04. I know we're jumping around here, but let's just go with it. Or I guess this is '05 I had pulled up, but anyway, we'll just say it's the HSE. Okay, choose that style. And, then you go in and you pick out, what does it have? Okay, it's the V8 4.4 liter automatic 4-wheel drive. If it has any special packages, okay, yeah, it has the luxury package. These are things obviously you're going to need to know before you go ahead and, try to figure out how much that car is going to cost you, because are you buying it from a dealer or a private party? If you're buying it from a private party, it's usually going to be a little cheaper. If you're buying it from the dealer, they want to make a little more commission off of it. Okay, so now it's probably not going to be excellent if it's an '04. It's probably going to be good. Okay, so let's get that. I mean, most people out there aren't selling excellent cars, in my opinion. They're selling good cars just because for a car to be excellent, it would need to be garage stored. It would need to be waxed on a regular basis, have absolutely no flaws whatsoever. Everything is as if it were new, right out of the factory. So good condition, 65,000 miles, 13,812 would be your good condition price. Now I can easily just click down here and say fair condition. It'll tell me 12.9, excellent condition, 14. Okay, so anything more than that, that somebody's trying to make more money than they should off you. Okay, is what it comes down to. And it's very hard for somebody to argue with Kelley Blue Book prices, because they base it off such a wide range of vehicles out there. For somebody to be putting, say, one of these up for sale for $16,000, and you tell them, well, your car is in good condition, okay, and good condition price on Kelley Blue Book is $13,800. Let's start at $13,800 and negotiate from there, And some people will give you a little issue at first, but the thing is that money talks and BS walks, and so if you have the cash in hand, you're going to get it. You just can't, waver. But I want to talk to you guys all about car sales as far as buying a car later, just because I feel like, again, some people might be able to benefit from this. Women especially are usually easily swayed by salesmen, and that's not all women. It's just, I've talked to a lot of women who said they, would like, some tutorials on this. But this is just the basic overview, like I said. So just, I hope this helped some of you and educated some of you. And if it did, please hit the like button. Just let me know that you guys like this kind of video, and I'll put more up. And as always, subscribe, and I'll put some more content about cars in general and sales techniques up here very shortly. So as always, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.